Hey guys, what is up? This is Mr. A. Crizzy here, and welcome back to another movie review. In tonight's movie review, I'm going to be doing a movie review on this old movie which came out way back in 2004. And at the time when I was a little kid, I actually remember seeing previews for this movie back when I used to own Blues Room on DVD, and of course some of the kids' Paramount DVDs that were released at the time this movie was being made. And yeah, and of course this is actually based on the Tonka toy trucks as well. And that's going to be on Tonka Tough Truck Adventures, the biggest show on wheels, or simply known as Tonka Tough Truck Adventures. Tonka Tough Truck Adventures is about a guy named Tonka Joe, and of course during the course week of Truck Week, Tonka Joe and the Tonka team must accomplish a series of brave feats to save the day and win the international competition. And of course, you know, the movie is pretty much almost set out as like a Tonka truck competition and race of some sort. And the movie's only like 60 minutes long. It's only like an hour long, and of course, you know, we got ourselves like a kids movie about the Tonka trucks. So, actually, I think I actually remember owning some of the Tonka toy trucks back when I was a little kid, because I do remember some toy trucks that I used to own from Tonka, and I also think it's pretty as good as, like, you know, Hot Wheels, because I also enjoyed Hot Wheels toy cars when I was a little kid. And Tonka, on the other hand, is more on the toy truck side, and because I remember a little bit from Tonka, and excuse me, and like I said, I remember seeing previews for Tonka Tough Truck Adventures back when I used to own some Paramount Kids DVDs at the time when this movie was made in 2004. Because I remember the previews for Tonka Tough Truck Adventures were actually shown on some Blues Room VHS tapes. Well, mostly DVDs, like DVDs for Blues Room, as well as like I Want a Dog for Christmas, Charlie Brown, and yeah. So, and how does the movie play out? Despite its 1 hour runtime, I gotta say this movie I actually thought it was a lot. I actually thought it was pretty fun. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good movie as well. Because I remember when I was watching the full movie about this on YouTube, when someone just randomly uploaded the whole movie on YouTube. I also read in the comments that most of the people in the comments said that they actually remembered this movie. That I think some of them said that they actually remember owning the VHS tape when they were little. And I gotta say, the animation itself, while the animation is kind of uncanny at most parts, I mean, the animation is kind of uncanny when you think about it these days. At the time this movie was made, but considering the fact that Tonka Tough Truck Adventures was actually made by the same companies that worked on Candyland: The Great Lollipop Adventure, I can definitely give credit and totally respect the animation, and of course the animation itself. At least they tried for like computer animation, while Candyland: The Great Lollipop Adventure is actually hand-drawn animated. And like I said, that movie was also made by the same company that made this film as well, like Sabella Dern Entertainment and Hasbro and Paramount Home Entertainment. And yeah, and I gotta say, the best part about Tonka Tough Truck Adventures is pretty much like, you know, when the action starts and when the action's on screen, and of course you get like the main character Tonka Joe. I gotta say, Tonka Joe is definitely the best part about this movie, because he's just like so buff and he's like so cool, and of course he's like a very strong character who's got most power abilities with his Tonka trucks. And I gotta say, for the most part, Tonka Tough Truck Adventures, the biggest show on earth, it was a pretty good movie. I actually might get it on DVD one day, maybe sometime next year. And of course, I do remember my longtime friend on YouTube, CEO Leonard Abel. He actually remembers this movie, and yeah, he actually told me a little bit about it like a couple years ago. And considering the fact that he likes Tonka, and I kind of like Tonka as well, and And yeah, and I gotta say, for the most part, Tonka Tough Truck Adventures was a pretty good and fun movie that was made in 2004. Even I can definitely say the voice acting itself, the voice acting itself was pretty good as well. Because from what I heard, Ian James Corlett was actually in this movie. Like just like he played Mr. Min from Candyland: The Great Lollipop Adventure. Yeah, it's like Ian James Corlett's was actually based in Canada. Like, because there was like a lot of Canadian voice actors who worked on these kinds of direct-to-video films, especially the ones from Sabella Dern Entertainment, like SD Entertainment, because Paul Sabella and Jonathan Dern were actually the people that worked on this movie. Then Paul Sabella and Jonathan Dern also worked on a bunch of other cute children's direct-to-video films. Like I know they both worked on Candyland: The Great Lollipop Adventure, Make Way for Naughty. And they did like some My Little Pony direct-to-video films, like A Very Minty Christmas, which I'm not really sold on. I'm not really sold on A Very Minty Christmas, like, you know, the My Little Pony like thing with Minty. Like I'm not really that sold on it, but I gotta say, Tonka Tough Truck Adventures, between this and Candyland: The Great Lollipop Adventure, I can definitely say this is probably like Sabella Dern Entertainment's like best direct-to-video films that they worked on. Yeah, because even Paul Sabella and Jonathan Dern were also involved. Like, I think Paul Sabella was actually one of the directors of the All Dogs Go to Heaven sequel, like All Dogs Go to Heaven 2. Like, it's kind of interesting when you think about it. It's like the people who worked on Tonka Tough Truck Adventures were actually some of the same people that were from Canada, and also the same people who worked on other direct-to-video films for children. Yeah. And as for what you expect from like a Tonka movie, I also heard there were some rumors back in 2012 that Happy Madison and Adam Sandler's company, like Happy Madison and Columbia Pictures, they were supposed to make an animated movie, an animated theatrical movie based on the Tonka toy truck line. Yeah. But I think somehow it got scrapped or something. Same with the Adam Sandler version of Candyland. From what I've heard, that occurred years ago. But whatever, that doesn't matter. And I also looked it up on Google Images that Tonka Tough Truck Adventures actually had a one-time theatrical showing on a Saturday at the time this movie was made, because there was I actually looked up a poster looked up one of the posters for this movie, and Tonka Tough Truck Adventures actually had a one-time theatrical showing on a Saturday during September at the time in 2004. Yeah. I would have imagined I would have imagined some kids who are fans of the Tonka trucks went and saw it, and if they got a chance to see it on the big screen for that one time, then those kids got very lucky to see it on the big screen. But I gotta say, Tonka Tough Truck Adventures was pretty much just like a direct-to-video film that fits the direct-to-video direct-to-video format much better. Because, like I said, the animation's uncanny, but I can totally respect the companies that were involved in the making of this movie, and yeah. And I don't really think Tonka Tough Truck Adventures, The Biggest Show on Wheels, it's not a bad movie. I liked it, and it was enjoyable, it was fun, and it was pretty good for the most part, so there you have it. So overall, Tonka Tough Truck Adventures, The Biggest Show on Wheels was a pretty good movie based on the Tonka toy trucks. And I'm going to give Tonka Tough Truck Adventures 3.5 out of 5 stars. And there you have it, guys. That's going to be it for my movie review on Tonka Tough Truck Adventures. And that's going to be it for this video, so make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And as always, thanks for watching. And until next time, this is Mr. A. Crizzy saying, goodbye everybody, and that's about it. Talk to you later.